Good morning, everyone. Hello. Welcome, everyone. How is everyone today? I hope you're doing well. Today is going to be a great day. I just know it. I can tell when a day is going to be a good day, and I got a good feeling about today. I think today is going to be a special day. I do. Why? Well, you'll find out in just a moment. Welcome, everyone. Today is Saturday, the 30th of January, 2021. I am Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here to my first of two gameplay streams for the day. Although, I say that, and the second stream is going to be something a little different. Alright, but we'll talk about that in a second. I hope you're all, excuse me. I hope you're all having a good weekend. I do. I hope that everything is going well for you. I hope that, everything is fine. You're healthy. You're happy. I hope you're ready for some entertaining stuff today as I stream some good stuff today. The first stream today will be gameplay, and it will be the continuation of Hitman 3. For those of you who've been following the playthrough, we are actually about to finish up the 4th stage of the game out of 6. So, that's good stuff. It means that we'll have some good progress today. And I don't know if there's a significant amount left in the 4th stage or not. It seems like this is the 3rd and final objective of the stage after completing the 2 assassinations, and maybe it's quick. But maybe not. I haven't played the game. As you know, I play these cold, so I don't really know what else is going to happen in this stage. But then we're going to head into the 5th. I don't know what the 5th stage is at all, so it should be pretty interesting to see what happens today with this stream. I certainly hope that you'll join me for it. A lot of exploratory stuff in it with Hitman, walking around and trying to see what you can do and different things in the environment for assassinations. I've really liked the game so far. Although, admittedly, I'll say the 3rd stage, which was the nightclub, underground nightclub in Berlin, I did not like as much. I felt that stage was, how do you say, too open-ended. It was too much wandering around, and you didn't know who your targets were. And, quite frankly, the location was kind of obnoxious. I don't like nightclubs to begin with. I don't like club music and stuff like that. It annoys me. So, it wasn't the best stage, in my opinion. But I actually did enjoy everything else. The first stage I thought was outstanding, and I found some creative ways to assassinate the targets in Dubai. And then the second stage, which was the murder mystery, supposed to kind of be like almost like a Sherlock Holmes or Clue murder investigation, was pretty neat. I liked that. And the 4th stage was very much par for the course of what you would expect for Hitman, with many different ways to perform the assassinations, and I've enjoyed that as well. So, it's good stuff. And I'm looking forward to more today. Again, I don't know what's going to happen in this 5th world once we get to it, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Okay? So that's the main gameplay stream. Now, later tonight, finally, I know, after an extended wait, it is finally time for my Game of the Year awards to begin. And I'm well aware that many of you are, how can I say, not upset, but I think many people pretty much understand why my Game of the Year awards took so long. I was in the middle of so many lengthy playthroughs with Yakuza 7, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, right? It was crazy. It was actually crazy how many games came out near the tail end of the year because of the new console launches. Typically, yes, would there be new releases in November? Sure. But typically, not this long. You know what I mean? Like, typically they wouldn't be insanely lengthy. But man, were they insanely lengthy, right? I mean, Yakuza 7, over 80-hour playthrough. And now I'm doing post-game content, right? And then, Assassin's Creed, forget about it. I can't even finish it. Seriously? The game's like forever. The game is lasting forever. I don't even know when I'll beat Assassin's Creed. At this point, at this point, I think I'm about 70 hours in or something crazy like that. And the game just keeps going and going. It's like, oh, I'm near the end. Cool. And then it unlocks 2 new regions to take over. I'm like, oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? So because of this very different situation with these insanely lengthy games releasing so late in the year, it really took me forever to wrap everything up. But the good news is, it's finally happening this weekend. All right? So later tonight, on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. All right? The most disappointing games of 2020 countdown. Now, I don't want to spoil. I'm not going to give you any specific spoilers, but I'm going to hype this up a little bit right here and give you guys a little taste of what we'll be doing tonight. All right, first of all, there will be 10 games that I will mention in this countdown. All right. However, one of them is not officially in the countdown. What does that mean? I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to tell you why. I'm not going to spoil. There are 10 games, but one of them is officially not in the countdown. All right? Now, when I say the most disappointing games of the year, this is different from the worst games of the year. I need to emphasize this because every year people get it wrong and they don't understand where I'm coming from. Okay? The worst games of the year implies the games are all absolutely god-awful. You know, every part of a game is bad, and that's why it would be one of the worst games of the year, all right? I don't do that. I've never done the worst games of the year countdown. I always do the most disappointing games of the year. Why? Because that allows me to include games that may actually overall be good, but actually disappointed me with how they turned out for various reasons. There have been games that are quite decent games in my disappointing games countdowns, but I feel like I need to call out their shortcomings because they were so disappointing and the potential maybe was so high. Okay? So, that's what I like to do, and that's what makes my countdowns a little bit unique compared to everybody else's. Alright? So think about that. When I'm doing this, you know, I know a lot of people right now are speculating what games is Phil going to include in this countdown. You got to think about that because there may be some games in there that you're not expecting would be in there, but they're going to be in there because they disappointed me in one way or another. Okay? I can outright tell you there's a few games in the disappointing games countdown that are good games that I actually enjoyed overall, but I was just so turned off by one thing or another in them that I have to put them into this countdown. Okay? In addition, I can tell you this, and this is not a spoiler, this is a teaser. There will be some games that are in the most disappointing games countdown that also appear in my Game of the Year Awards Best Games of the Year countdown. Yes. Yes. There will be some that appear in both. What games? That's you can speculate. Think about it yourself. Try to figure it out. All right? But there will be some games that cross over. Okay? All right. Also, this is me being completely honest and transparent with all of you, all right? As of this very moment, right now, this morning, I do not know what game will be number one in my most disappointing games countdown. I don't know yet because some games were so disappointing in 2020 that I can't decide which is the most disappointing one yet. I just can't. I might do it on the spot. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to I don't know. I might have to pick them out of a hat. I don't know how else to. It's like, you'll see. Anyway, so how's this going to work tonight? All right, it's going to be a live stream, and what's going to happen is I'm going to count down all the way from number 10 to number 1, and as we count these down, I'm going to basically do a mini review of every game. I'm going to explain to you why I feel that game was disappointing. Now, if it's a game that I feel overall is actually good, I'm going to tell you that. I'm not going to be all negative and be a dickhead and totally ignore all the positives of the game. What I'm going to do is give you a rundown of each game. And the thing is, when I used to do my game review series, The Hateful Truth, the year-end series were kind of anticlimactic. Because if you would just literally follow the reviews I did, you would know exactly what games were going to be in the countdown, and you would already know the numerical order. You know what I mean? Like, it was very easy to figure out. Not so much anymore. Now, because I don't do game reviews anymore, it's actually pretty, up in the air. And I feel that that's actually a good thing because it makes these series more interesting. Right? At the same time, though, let's admit the obvious. I'm a full-time streamer now. I'm not a YouTuber. So there's not nearly as many people sitting around waiting for my year-end series in anticipation anymore. Although there are. And those people that have been with me a long time and they look forward to this time of year every year. I know that most people are like, all right, just get back to games, right? So it's going to be two night streams that we're going to handle these Game of the Year countdowns. Or I should say year-end series countdowns. And it won't be anything else than that. That way we're not wasting too much time from doing gameplay, which I know is what you guys come here for, okay? So, all that being said, tonight should be fun. All right, I'm going to do mini reviews, basically 10 games, let you know what I thought about all of them, the most disappointing parts of them, why they're in there, and then ranking them. And then I somehow have to come to a conclusion about what was the most disappointing game? I don't even know how I'm going to do it. I really don't know how I'm going to do it. Okay? Alright, so that's tonight. Now, the thing is, 10 games, maybe I'll talk about each one for 5 minutes, roughly. We're just estimating. Some of them may go way longer than that, and some may be way shorter than that. If that is the case, and it takes about an hour, a little over an hour, maybe I'll have some extra time. If I do have extra time, then maybe we'll do some random gameplay. Maybe I'll just jump into Call of Duty or something, just mess around in it for a little bit. Nothing serious, alright? Nothing crazy. I'm not committing to anything. As you guys know, I can't do real overtime anymore. So, if it goes to 9 o'clock, then that's it. That's the stream, okay? So we'll see how it goes tonight. I hope you guys will tune in. Hope you guys will obviously support the stream. I know many people have been waiting a long time for this at the same time. I know it kind of sucks that it took so long for it to happen, but it's finally happening tonight, alright? Good stuff. Tomorrow, speaking of Call of Duty, I'm going to be doing a major stream of Call of Duty on the early stream. That's the first stream. Now, I've not done an early stream of Call of Duty since November. When the game came out, that launch day, I played it all day long. And since then, the only daytime streams I did of Call of Duty were the story. And once the story was done, that was it. Call of Duty basically turned into a night stream where I would do, 2 to 3 hour segments of multiplayer. And I never really brought it back to the main gameplay stream. So, since then, holy crap. I've tried out a plethora of weapons. New maps have been released. A lot has changed. And some people have expressed the desire to see me bring Call of Duty back to the early gameplay stream because they don't have the opportunity to attend the late night streams. They basically say, listen, Phil, we can't be there late at night because where we live, it's not like the United States. We're many hours ahead of you. And it makes it so that we can't attend those streams, which sucks because we'd like to see you do competitive first-person shooter stuff, and now we don't have the opportunity to do that. So that's why tomorrow we're switching the streams up, and the main gameplay stream will be Call of Duty. All right? Basically 3+ hours of multiplayer and me screaming at the game being laggy. Although, when the game isn't laggy, usually it's a blast. When I can run through these stages, going crazy, getting kills and everything, it's really entertaining. Also, for those who did not watch the last stream, I've switched over to a loadout where my main weapon, the Krieg 6, has a ton of attachments, like double attachments. So it's really good now. And I made it so that my secondary is a knife. And I just started going crazy with the knife getting kills, which I think is ridiculous. I really think the knife is it's so preposterous that the knife would be that good in the game, but it is. So, hell, if everyone else abuses it, I'm going to fucking abuse it too. Okay, so tomorrow, it should be a fun time with the knife running around like a madman stabbing people. The mad stabber. So stupid. Should be a good time. I hope you'll join me for that tomorrow. It should be interesting. Alright. Tomorrow night, it'll be Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the late stream. I can't, just because I'm flipping streams recently to give games like Immortals Phoenix Rising and Call of Duty more of a highlight, that doesn't mean that I can just stop playing Assassin's Creed. This game will never end if I don't keep playing it. So I'm playing it tomorrow night for 2 hours. And hopefully we'll finish up the region that I'm in. Maybe head into a new region. I guess we'll find out tomorrow night. Alright? Then on Monday, it's going to be more Hitman. Okay? Hitman will continue on Monday. Another 3-hour stream of it. And at that point, I wonder if we'll finish up like the 5th world and go into the 6th or whatever. We're basically getting towards the end of Hitman. Alright? We will be by then, I feel. The game's not very long, just like the last 2 Hitman games. The thing is, obviously the game is meant to be replayed. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to want to see me go back and replay the game and try the other assassinations. Or after playing through it once, if you'll have seen enough and be like, that's enough. We'll see. If you guys want to see more, maybe I'll do more. But I get the feeling people are going to be like, just do something else. Alright? So we'll see what happens, okay? Excuse me. This week is going to be interesting coming up. Well, let me not get ahead of myself yet. Let me finish the schedule. Monday night, all right? Monday night. Hopefully you guys will join me. It's going to be exciting. Why will it be exciting? Because Monday night, it's my best games of the year countdown. Finally. Now, you may be surprised. Because I was actually doing this list, and actually, I was having a hard time narrowing it down. Because there were actually, shockingly, a bunch of good games last year. a lot of people seem to be of the opposite mentality. I think what it is overall, 2020 was a shit year because of COVID and everything going on in the world, right? And we tend to focus on the negative rather than remember the positive. There's just something in human nature that humans tend to always forget the good stuff that we did and focus on the bad. But, you know, surprisingly, as I was doing this list last night, I was like, dude, there's a lot of games that I liked last year. So what this countdown might have, it might have like a top 10, but there may actually be honorable mentions. There may be a longer list than the top 10. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. As you know, I haven't solidified that yet. But I will. I will solidify it soon, and I'll let you know, obviously, what happens with that as I get closer to completion. Sounds good? I hope that sounds good. Okay. Excuse me. Ugh. So, that's Monday night. All right? And hopefully, you guys will join me for that as well. You know, tonight we got the most disappointing. Monday night we got the best games. And similar to tonight, if we end early, I'll switch over and play maybe some Call of Duty or something. But the thing is, I get the feeling on Monday night I will not be doing that. Only because, since it seems like this list is going to be so damn long, I don't think that there's going to be opportunity to really have extra time for anything. I think it's just going to be the countdown. Okay? All right. Good stuff. Now, will I give you spoilers for Monday night? I don't really think I want to do that. I think I'd rather have you wait. But needless to say, I do think some people will be shocked at some of the games that I'm going to have in this countdown for Monday. I do. I believe that some people are going to be like, what? Because here's the thing. Again, I don't do game reviews anymore. And being that I don't do game reviews anymore, a lot of the times people don't know my true feelings about how I feel about a game. And they just take like a moment of rage during a playthrough and they think that's synonymous with my entire thoughts about a game when that's definitely not the case. At the same time, if people just watched the end of every playthrough that I do, you know, when the credits roll, typically I'll give you guys my summarized opinion about the game in the credits. So even though I don't do formal reviews anymore, with very few exceptions, you can generally still figure out my thoughts about a game if you pay attention. But the thing is, I guess a lot of people just don't really pay attention that much. You know? So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right? I'm excited for Monday, and I hope you guys will join. Again, my year-end series, I know it took a long time, and I'm sorry about that. I hope you'll join me for these special events tonight and Monday night. And hopefully you'll come out and hang out and support them. Some people have actually asked me a question, and I'll answer that here. Since this is a live stream, right, will it be interactive? The answer is yes. If you guys contribute during the streams, and obviously if it's on topic with what we're doing, I will do shout-outs and we'll answer questions and the like. Like, I'm sure as I'm doing my countdown, some people may have questions about why I chose a certain thing or whatever. And yes, I will interact with you guys. It's not going to be like I'm ignoring you guys during the whole thing. At the same time, I'm not going to let people derail it. Oh, I cheered and I asked about some fucking bullshit. It's nothing to do with anything. No, I'm not going to be doing that, okay? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I think it should be fun, and hopefully you guys will support these streams since you guys have been waiting for so long. I know it took a long time, but finally I'm getting time to do it, all right? Now, this coming week is going to be interesting, coming up next week. Here's why. First of all, there's a new game coming out that's free for PS Plus. It's called Destruction All-Stars, all right? And people are intrigued to know if this game is any good because originally it was going to be a launch title for PS5, and it basically got delayed to be what it is today, a PS Plus game. So if people are already like, is it any good? Could it be possibly be any good? And the answer is, I don't know. We're going to find out because it is free. Basically, it's a combination of Rocket League with Twisted Metal with a third-person shooter with characters that look like they're from Fortnite. So, judge that as you will. Could it be good? Yes. Will it be good? You know, who knows? We'll find out. It's free. All right, we'll play it, and we'll see what happens. That's going to be one of the major things I do this week, okay? Now, I'm going to keep playing Assassin's Creed. We are not at the end of Assassin's Creed yet. I've got to continue with that playthrough. We got to keep going so I can finish the goddamn game. I'm now over 70 hours, and we got to keep that going, okay? I can tell you this. Yesterday, I played Immortals Phoenix Rising as the main gameplay stream. It went well. People showed up. People were very engaged. They had a good time in general. and the feedback overall was very positive. People said, yeah, this is actually a pretty good daytime stream. Now, I'm not saying that Immortals is going to stay a daytime stream forever, but I think I want to do maybe one daytime stream of it again this coming week, only because this stream did so well, and people seem to be pleased with it, okay? So, there'll probably be Immortals as a daytime stream once this coming week. Now, Call of Duty. I can't actually tell you what I'm going to be doing with Call of Duty this next week. The reason being is, we got to see how it goes tomorrow. If I do Call of Duty as a main gameplay stream tomorrow, and it goes well, and people show up, and they're engaged, and they support the stream, and everyone has a good time, then maybe I would consider doing Call of Duty as a main gameplay stream again, as a second time, alright? But again, if I do it and people don't like it, and it's not very good or whatever, then we don't have to do it as a daytime stream again. In fact, as I said, the last time I played Call of Duty as a late night stream, the way I see it is if people are basically burnt out on Call of Duty and they don't like Black Ops Cold War as much anymore, then we can reduce the frequency that I play it. You know, I've been playing it basically 2, sometimes 3 times a week at night. We don't have to do that. We can do other stuff. There is definitely other stuff I could be doing on the late streams. So, depending on what happens tomorrow, it will actually determine kind of the fate of Call of Duty. If it goes well, then maybe we'll do like one night stream of Call of Duty and one day stream of Call of Duty a week or something like that. Alright? But we'll see. If it's not going well, then maybe it'll just be one night stream a week, like I do weekly my Street Fighter stuff. Maybe I'll do one weekly Call of Duty stream or whatever. You know, and we'll do it that way. So let's see. We'll play it by ear, and we'll see how it goes tomorrow as the daytime stream, and we'll go from there. Alright? That way we're not prejudging how something will do. We'll be fair about it. Okay? Sound good? Okay. Alright. So, in addition to everything I just mentioned, keep in mind, the next major playthrough I'm doing, I've already announced. It's Divinity Original Sin 2. So when we basically, get to a point where the daytime streams, like I finish Hitman 3, which is going to come this week. This is going to be the conclusion of Hitman 3 for sure this week. Okay? And likely, there will be, the end game of Assassin's Creed coming up. I don't know how quickly. It may be another 2 weeks at this rate. But yes, there will be a finale of Assassin's Creed at some point. But this month, absolutely, this month will be the start of my playthrough of Divinity Original Sin 2, which I know you guys have been waiting for. It's finally happening. Okay? When exactly, I can't tell you. Likely not this week, because it seems like with Assassin's Creed and with Hitman finishing, and then if I do make Immortals and Call of Duty continuously main streams, that's the whole week, So likely it won't be this week, maybe the week after, alright? Now the other thing is coming up this coming month, in February. There really isn't that much more going on. If you take a look, the only game really coming out that I'm really interested in is Mario. Yeah, there's a Mario 3D All-Stars, is it called? No, what am I talking about? Mario 3D World, right? And, of course, Bowser's Fury. That's included with it on the Switch. I'm definitely playing that. I'm excited for it. But outside of that, there's a couple games coming out in February that, I don't know if I want to play these or not. For example, you've got that werewolf game. I seriously don't even know the name of it. And people are like, yeah, it looks all right, but it's probably not going to be amazing or anything. People keep mentioning this game Cyber Shadow or whatever. I don't even know what that is. Someone mentioned on stream yesterday, and that was the first time I ever heard of it. So let me put it this way. If any games come out in February that people are interested in, there seems to be interest, people generally like them and they want to see me play them, I'm open to it. But, my focus will be finishing up Hitman, finishing up Assassin's Creed, continuing on with playthroughs like Immortals, maybe doing some more Call of Duty, and definitely getting Divinity Original Sin 2 started, and definitely playing Mario. Those are my priorities. Now, outside of that time, there may be more time, right? For example, like I said, I'm going to try Destruction All-Stars. And I'm going to be doing, maybe I'll be doing something else. Like maybe I'll do some Maneater or something, which I just got on PS Plus before it was removed for the month. We'll see. There could be some variety this month. All right, but it should be a pretty good month, I feel. What about the Mass Effect Remaster? I'm definitely playing that, but that's not out in February. I think that's coming out. Didn't it say March or April? I need to sit down. I need to look at the schedule for sure. I haven't really had a chance to, but yeah, that's not coming out for a bit. I agree. Internet Explorer's variety is good. Yeah, that's the thing. I want to do a variety of stuff in February since we don't have a ton of major releases coming out. It'll give opportunity for me to just kind of see what's out there, get a general feel for certain games when they're released, because there's a lot of games, like I said, the Werewolf game and, you know, the Cyber Shadow game. I don't know much about them. I don't know if they're going to be any good, so I don't want to even commit to even talking about them until we get more information about them and see if they're worth playing. Okay? Excuse me. See, that's true, too. R. Breezy says, you forgot a Game of the Year contender, Hades. You're right, I never played it. And I told you guys I was considering playing Hades, because I think it would be an entertaining playthrough, something different. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right? All right. So that's the February kind of in a nutshell. Outside of that, a couple other things. The retrospective event. Yeah, I almost forgot about that, didn't you? Yeah, I did too. I'm not going to lie. There's so much going on. I pretty much almost forgot about the retrospective event. And I definitely want to do it this coming week, if possible, on the weekend. But I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of like, shit. I already said I wanted to continue with Assassin's Creed. I already said I want to continue with this. I want to continue with this. It's like, damn, what am I going to do with that? So, you know, it's a conundrum, right? Is that the word? It's a conundrum. When to do it. It is definitely happening. But maybe it'll have to wait another week. Maybe it'll have to be the next week, like the second week of February. The other thing is, guys, as I've told you, I'm supposed to be doing work on my taxes right now. And I'm not too pleased about that because here I am busting my ass to try to get the year-end series out and everything. And all of a sudden my tax guy contacts me. He's like, oh, we got to do work on your taxes. I want you to have all your information, like, right away. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, he told me out of nowhere that he wants me to get my tax information together, like, right away. And I'm like, maybe in other places that's how life works. But for me, you know, I need advance warning. I need to know exactly what I'm doing when because I have a very busy life schedule. And it sucks. It seems like, sadly, this week, coming up, I'm going to have to sit down behind the scenes of my streams here, and I'm going to have to work on tax shit. And that sucks. Because I was hoping I could work on it over the course of February and have it to him, you know, no, I want it right away. I'm like, son of a bitch, man, really? It's not good. So, that being said, maybe the retrospective will have to wait another week. I'm ready to do it. Like, I want to do it. I'm raring to do it. But I don't know how a marathon is going to fit in when, number one, I got all these games I'm currently playing that need to continue. And number two, when I'm basically being told I got this tax guy breathing down my goddamn neck, telling me to get all my information together. And I'm like, oh, my God. You know, frustrating. So anyway, that's kind of the deal. I'll let you know more about the retrospective basically this coming week. What I'd like to do for now is focus in on what I'm doing and not get too worried about it. You know, rather than freak out about it or whatever. I'd like to just kind of focus on the games I'm playing and everything and go from there. All right, and then we'll get to it when we get to it, I guess. All right. Also, yes, there will be another Player's Choice playthrough, Viewer's Choice playthrough coming up. You guys will be able to nominate and vote on another game for me to play for Viewer's Choice, but not yet. Not yet. All right, we'll get to that. I figure, let's start the current Viewer's Choice playthrough before we get ahead of ourselves with another one, right? So, yes, let's actually get Divinity Original Sin 2 started, and then we'll focus in on what the new one will be. And likely, the new one will probably happen this month, okay? Okay. Let's see, jeez. Outside of all that, I'm just trying to think, is there anything else? Nothing's really coming to mind. So, I will say, that's good. Let's move on to the next segment. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm an independent content creator. And what that means is that I do not have a contract with any company to stream exclusively anywhere and get paid for it like a lot of other top streamers who do this full time do. I don't make money just by turning on a stream. I don't have any sponsorships. All right? I don't have any product placements. There's no shilling here on my streams. When you watch my gameplay content, you can be well assured that what you're seeing is 100% truthful. It's 100% my opinions on stuff. It's not pulling punches. It's not, oh God, I have to watch what I'm saying because I might lose a sponsor today. You know what I mean? It's the real me, my real opinions, and I pride myself on that. Over the years, the 12 plus years that I've been a content creator on the internet, all right, it's been a great experience being able to be honest and truthful with all of you. A lot of other content creators, sadly, their streams have become paid advertisements, and, you know, some people are okay with that. I'm not. I would never want to become a paid advertisement. I'm the kind of guy that I want to be truthful with you. I want you to tune into my stream and know that what I'm saying is, you know, fact and not bullshit. Okay? And that's a good thing. A lot of people have actually told me that that's why they stuck with me all this time. Because I'm an honest guy, and I'm not going to be sugarcoating a game or whatever when I play it. While a lot of other people, it just seems like they're constantly kissing the game's butt because they're trying to make a buck, right? So, that being said, everyone, I appreciate your ongoing support. I appreciate the fact that after 12 plus years, you still come and hang out with me on a daily basis, all right? Thank you for that. Thank you for your support. And ultimately, that's what it's all about, crowdfunding support. If it weren't for you guys coming by and supporting my streams every day, I wouldn't still be here, right? It's all of you coming by and saying, you know, we like your streams, we want to hang out with you, have a good time, have good social interaction, also enjoy the gameplay, whatever game you're playing, and see your honest opinions on that game, right? And then people come out and they support that stream because they want to see that continue. Thank you for that. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't still be here, you know, especially during the whole bursting of YouTube's bubble and everything that happened many years ago. And I changed from being a full-time YouTuber to a full-time streamer. All right? It was you guys who made all this possible, and I really am grateful for that. I hope you understand that. I love what I do for a living. Yes, this is my hobby, but it's also my job, and the fact that I get to do my hobby for my job is amazing. And I love coming to work every day and streaming with you guys and just having a good time in general. So thank you so much for that and allowing me to do what I love, my passion for my job, okay? Now, that being said, if you like the content and you want to see it continue, then by all means, please consider contributing during the streams. I want you to understand up front, contributions are not mandatory on my streams, nor are they expected. I consider it going above and beyond being a standard stream viewer if you actually do contribute to my streams and allow me to do what I love. All right? Thank you for that. But you're welcome here, even if you're not going to contribute. My streams are free on Twitch and always will be. And that's the business model I use. And I hope you guys understand that and know that, you know, no pressure. At the very same time, you know, cheering, subbing, gifting a subscription, tipping me, those are all great ways that you can contribute. And if you want to contribute and you can, please by all means do. It's how I make my living. It's how I continue to do stuff. Now, yesterday, I talked about this. I'm going to keep mentioning this for the next couple of weeks. Right now, being very honest and upfront with all of you, I am strapped for cash. I just had to unload my bank account in the last week to pay quarterly taxes, to pay various other kind of year-end or year-start bills that happen that creep up on me every year. And, yeah, they were pretty high. And next thing I knew, I was like, wow, I'm basically broke right now, okay? It sucks. But I'm just being honest with you, okay? This is what just happened. And I'm going to basically be in this situation until I get paid by Twitch, which is going to happen in the middle of February. I get paid by Twitch basically the middle of every month, okay? So the good news is it's not going to last forever. The bad news is it's definitely happening right now, and it sucks, all right? Now, if you contribute via tipping me, that would help a lot. When you tip me, those are funds I get right away, and that means that would help with this situation, allow me to get through the next couple of weeks, all right? So if you are going to contribute today, if you're looking to contribute, you want to help out, I would appreciate it if you could tip me. Tipping me is going to be the preferred way that I would like for you to contribute if you can. It would help me more than anything else in the short term until I get paid by Twitch. And then when I get paid by Twitch in the middle of the month, it should be better. The other thing that always sucks about this time of year, YouTube ad revenue plummets right now. It like significantly dips. All those advertisers that came in over the last 3-4 months for the holiday season and the gaming season, they're gone. So YouTube ad revenue dips. Now the good news is it's not like it was back in the day where I'm solely dependent on YouTube ad revenue. Those days are gone, thank God. But I do still make money on YouTube. All right, and basically it sucks because there's not much I can do about it. I'm gonna have declined income in February as well. So the way that I hope to make up for it is via crowdfunding. So if you guys can help me out in the next couple of weeks, if you like the content, you want to help me out, the best way to do it would be by tipping me. I would really appreciate it if you did. And I would say thank you in advance to those who would consider tipping me. All right. Thank you, and thank you again. Now, a few things, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, if you're a regular attendee of my stream, you're someone who regularly comes by and hangs out, and be honest here, if you're someone who is considering contributing to my stream, all right, I want you to be protected. I want you to feel safe. I don't want you to be harassed online or trolled simply because you come to a stream and you're a regular. So there's a few tips that I like to give out on every stream to help you out. First of all, please do your best to disassociate your online persona from your real life information and also from your other social media accounts. What I mean by that is your name on Twitch should not be the same as your real name, and it certainly should not be the same name you're using on like Instagram or Twitter, because sadly there are people out there who are malicious and they will try to harass you simply because they can. Not because, they get anything out of it, but just because they think it's funny to harass people. I don't want that to happen to my viewers. All right? I want you guys to be protected. So please, if you can, make sure that your name is something different so people can't seek out your other information and then try to harass you online. All right? That's number one. Number two, I strongly recommend you shut down open direct messages here on Twitch. I couldn't tell you how many people use this as a malicious way to contact people and harass them. They think it's funny to fucking send you nasty direct messages or messages that they're trying to get your information and stuff out of. It's not good. All right, what I do, I have it set up on my Twitch that basically no one can send me direct messages unless they're on my friends list, my approved friends list, and that keeps the riffraff out basically. That stops people from doing malicious shit. All right, so I strongly recommend that you do that to avoid any kind of online harassment. Okay, now, if you are looking to help me out today by tipping me, like I said, the next couple of weeks are going to be pretty tight and rough for me because of financial situation. If you're thinking of tipping me today to help me out, I appreciate that in advance. Thank you for even considering it, okay? Something that I'm going to recommend you do because it's going to help out both you and me is to make a verified PayPal account. What this means is that when you make your PayPal account, you're putting in your real life information so that basically it's tied to your real life identity. And the reason that this makes sense is because it protects from fraud. It stops people from trying to do malicious things that are fraudulent. All right. Sadly, in the last 4 to 5 months, so this basically started kind of in September, there was someone on the internet who was so crazy. They actually bought hundreds of fake credit card numbers off the internet and gave me tons of fake tips. They were coming in every day. People could see them on the stream. There were nasty messages associated with them about my family members. And the problem with those is they were all fake. They were all stolen credit cards, and they all got charged back. And what happened was not only did that money, get taken away from me, but then there were fees associated with those transactions. My PayPal got into trouble because there were so many against them. It was a real nightmare. It actually hurt me significantly behind the scenes because of this. And obviously, I needed to take action. I had to defend myself from this continuing to happen. So what I've done is I instituted some changes to stop this person from doing it over and over. But one of the ways that you can help is by making a verified PayPal account if you're going to tip me. When you make that verified PayPal account, I know I can trust you because you put your real life info in there. If anyone tries to do something fraudulent, then it helps me out. I'm protected from that because those people will be held responsible for their fraudulent actions. While if it's just an anonymous tip, anyone could just lie and get away with it. And that's basically what was happening to me for months and months is I was getting screwed over by this person. Okay? Also, just so you guys know, it's going to help you in the long run as well. Because the way it works is it'll give you added protections. If you're going to use that PayPal account in the future for anything, you'd be eligible for buyer or seller protection because you put your real identity in there. A lot of people aren't aware of that, but yeah, it gives added protections for other transactional purposes. It's not like you're only doing it just to help me out. You're helping yourself out too. Okay? So I urge you, please consider making a verified PayPal account. How do you do that? Basically, you're going to link your real life information, like a bank account or your ID information, your name, your address, etc. Now, don't worry. If you link that information, PayPal is not going to give it out or dox you. If they did, you could sue them, and then they go out of business. So that's not going to happen, all right? Some people are just nervous that, oh my God, PayPal's going to dox me. No, they're not, all right? But what I will urge you is to say to be careful, because when you put your information in there, your PayPal account may actually show your real name. And when you tip me, it may show your whole real name. And if I read that out on stream, I gave your real name out, all right? So what I would urge you to do, be sure that when you're making your PayPal account, you're putting in the proper info. Some people have actually said if you link your PayPal account to your Twitch account, it'll actually now use your Twitch name instead. So a lot of people tip me, and it shows up with their Twitch name, all right? I recommend you do that, okay? So just going the extra mile here on the pre-stream to try to protect you guys and make sure that you're all good and that you're not getting harassed online and everything's good. And again, I really appreciate it. In the last few weeks, many of my regulars have created that verified PayPal account to help me out, and it has helped out. If you guys haven't noticed in the past few weeks, way less times when I've had to say, okay, we got to drop everything to verify if a tip is real. Hold on, we got to go inside my PayPal to check this out. Instead, a lot of the times I just see a tip and I know, oh, I know who that is. It's verified, it's trustworthy, and we can just continue on with the stream. Okay? So, oh my God, excuse me. So, thank you for that. Now, there's one final thing I do want to say before we move on. All right? I feel it's important for me to bring this up today. All right? I appreciate every contribution. I do my absolute best, all right, to shout out all the contributions that I get on a particular stream, because I am that grateful. I want you guys to get credit for your contributions, all right? And thank you again in advance to anyone who contributes on my streams. However, I do feel we're in a situation now where I need to say this. Just because you're a contributor does not make you immune to the stream rules. You have to abide by the same rules and the same behavior as everyone else. In general, that just means be nice to each other and don't say gross things. Don't attack other people. Don't be saying sexualized things. Don't be saying nasty racial things. I mean, this is all common sense, but sadly to some people it's not. And I actually have received some personal complaints. All right, I'm not going to go into detail about that, but I did receive some personal complaints from longtime stream regulars who've been saying that recently there have been a couple people who were top contributors, but they're basically not abiding by the rules. It seems like they feel like they're above the rules and they can come in here and say gross stuff to try to get my attention or derail the stream. And in general, they feel like I haven't handled it well. Now, personally, I'll be honest with everyone, it's hard when I'm trying to run a stream to deal with people derailing it a lot. And a lot of people do. Recently, I've noticed people coming in and cheering and trying to derail the stream with stuff like that. I do my best to try to handle it the best I can, but I agree that sometimes it does get out of hand and it gets past me, and well, I apologize for that. All right, I promise you I'm going to do my best moving forward to try to make sure that the stream is streamlined, that we don't have those kind of derailing moments. All right, and in particular, I specifically remember yesterday one person who said something, and I spoke up and I was like, you listen, I appreciate your contributions, but the stream's not all about you, and you know the stream rules, and if you do this again, I'm going to kick you out because this is gross. And if I remember correctly, I do believe that this person did chill out after that and didn't do it again, but doesn't mean that they're not going to try to go ahead and do it again in the future. So just so you guys know, no one is above the rules here. The rules are for everyone, not just for, regular chatters, and no, people who contribute are not above the rules. I want you guys to know that. I see you all equally. All right, listen, I appreciate that there are people who contribute. Absolutely, I do. But a lot of the times people joke about, oh, I'm unbannable, or oh, I'm a VIP here in Phil's chat. That doesn't exist. That's people joking. That's not truthful at all. Everyone here is equal, and I appreciate all of you coming by and hanging out with me and having a good time. All right? And it's not, don't listen to the people who try to spin it otherwise, because they do it on purpose to try to derail the stream. Okay? So, please, abide by the rules. Here's the thing. I don't like sitting here banning people. Some people make these running memes about, content creators that like to ban people from their streams or whatever, right? I don't like to sit here and spend time banning people. I don't like moderating. I just want to play games and have fun. That's all I care about. I don't want to sit here and act like I have to be some kind of a fucking, rule. Like, I'm not a hall monitor. You know what I mean? But in general, we do need some rules to be in place so that people have a generally good time on my streams, right? There's some situations where there aren't general rules in place. People are not going to have a generally good time. They're going to be annoyed and they're going to be upset that people are not abiding by the rules. And I do need to do some stuff, okay? So I hope you guys understand that, all right? And I certainly hope that people will abide by the rules and I don't have to go out of my way to start banning people. I don't want to do that at all, right? But if I have to, I have to. And please understand, again, if you're contributing, I appreciate that. I will give you a shout out. You're not above the rules, all right? I don't want people to feel that this is some kind of inclusive streaming club where just because someone came in and dropped some contributions that now they get away with everything. No, that's very much not the case. And I'm going to do my best to try to make sure that doesn't feel like that moving forward, all right? So I apologize to anyone who may have felt offended recently if this was the case. When I basically got 2 different messages, I'm not even kidding you, I got 2 different messages from 2 longtime stream viewers in the same night, basically complaining, saying that, why is this going on? It's kind of turning them off from watching the streams. I was like, well, I guess when 2 people who are completely unrelated and really have nothing in common both message me overnight saying exactly the same thing, obviously there's something going on here that I need to pay attention to. So I will. And please understand that. If you see people coming in here acting like a jackass, they're not going to be here for much longer. I don't care if they're contributing or not. Okay? All right. Thank you for understanding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's head on to the news. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no news. There's really nothing to talk about today. There's like nothing going on in the realm of anything that we would want to be discussing together today. Pretty bland day overall. If you guys have any news stories you want to talk about today, I'm all ears, but there's really not much going on in gaming world or anything like that. So I think I'm just going to get to shout outs now. Turtle Dude says the news is that turtles rule. Well, we already knew that, so I'm not necessarily sure that that's news. We all know that turtles are cool, right? All right. Let us now get to shout-outs. So let me come over here and start shouting out contributions. So we start off with, of course, as always, the overnight shout-outs. We've got Tantamounter, who did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Tantamounter. We got Golden Colts, who did a 50-bit cheer overnight and says, do you think it is morally wrong to put pasta on a sandwich? They have meatball sandwiches and veal parmesan sandwiches, but those never come with the pasta found in other versions of the dish. I think it's weird. First of all, I should clarify, only once ever in my entire life have I had a sandwich with pasta on it. Only once. All right? The sandwich was a burger. It was a hamburger, and they put mac and cheese on the burger. Okay? It was like a gourmet sandwich. I remember it was actually I was at like a hotel restaurant or something, and I ate it. And, of course, they overcharge. It was ridiculously expensive. All hotel food, they monstrously overcharge you for no fucking reason. Usually the food isn't as good as food you can get elsewhere, and they charge you way too much for it. So, I remember thinking it was weird that this was on it. Admittedly, it did add good flavor, but when you're eating a burger and you have meat, so much meat on the sandwich, really you can't really focus in on the fact that there's mac and cheese on there. Like, I tasted the cheese, but I didn't necessarily care about the pasta that was on the burger. Like, the pasta wasn't even a flavor I could taste. It was cheese in the burger and other condiments and things that were on it. I have seen some really weird... I've seen mac and cheese sandwiches, like actually like a grilled cheese with thick cut bread, and it's just mac and cheese on there with like bacon pieces and stuff. Never had anything like that. Kind of a carb overload, don't you think? You already have bread. Do you really need pasta? Like, for example, what Golden Coach just mentioned, he says, what about a meatball sandwich, veal parmesan? They don't come with the pasta, but if you were to order those separately as dishes, you order a meatball sandwich, it would come with, like, meatball sandwich. If you were to order meatballs, it comes with spaghetti or another kind of pasta, right? Here's what I think. I think you're looking for a variety of a well-balanced amount of ingredients in any meal. So if you're ordering spaghetti and meatballs, you're getting your carbs in the spaghetti, and then you're getting your meat, your protein in the meatballs. Same thing, veal parm, and it comes with a side of pasta. Same thing, your veal, Your dairy is the cheese, right? The sauce, the herbs, and things like that are basically kind of your veggie food group, even though it's not prominent. And then you've got your starch in the pasta that it comes with. You see, that's your, it's a balance. If you're eating a sandwich that's pasta on it, that's carbs on carbs. Like, that's way too many carbs, in my opinion. So I'm not exactly sure that really works. Now, again, I've only had one ever, the burger, and it didn't really go so well. All I tasted was the cheese. Maybe there are sandwiches out there with pasta on them that work, but I have not found one, and I certainly have not eaten one. Okay. Golden Cold Shoot again, he said, is it best to eat the classic 3 meals a day, 6 smaller meals, or 9 tiny meals throughout the day, like a squirrel chewing on walnuts? What the? That was oddly specific. Like a squirrel chewing on walnuts. Okay then. Well, I would say it depends on the person. Because like everything, there's generalized health advice that can be given. But just like everything else on this planet, it's always going to be different per person. And the lifestyle that you live and things like that. All right? It used to be that health officials would tell you need 3 balanced meals, 3 square meals a day. Breakfast, that's a balance of carbs and protein. And then you should be eating a lunch, that's kind of a lighter meal, but it's balanced. And then dinner should be your bigger meal, and it should have a balance of protein and veggies and blah, 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 blah. And we all know that. We know the food pyramid and all that shit. But then sometime, I don't even know when, it seemed like the opinion changed. And then it became, well, even though that's good and all, a more how do they say, smaller meals over the course of the day. So basically, I guess the mentality is, if you power load 2 or 3 big meals a day, you're putting all those calories into your body at once, and your body doesn't necessarily need all those calories at that time, and therefore those calories end up building up in your body as fat and other things. That's not good for you. So in general, the better thing to do would be to eat smaller meals over the course of the day. When your body is burning that energy and it needs to be replenished, you eat a small meal. Replenish the meal. Replenish the meal. All right, so maybe instead of saying like having a big lunch, so in the morning you'll have a breakfast that's balanced, maybe a little bit of protein, a little bit of dairy, and then, for no lunch. Instead, over the course of the day, have a snack, have a little bit of granola, have a little bit of dried fruits, things that are considered to be healthier over the course of the day as snacks over a course of time. So you're not just eating tons of food in one big meal. And then maybe later in the day, once you're done with whatever your daily session is, whether it's school or work or whatever you're doing when you come home, then you have one big meal and that's better. I'm not a dietitian, but this is what I've kind of found as over the years that the mentality has changed. So I can't answer definitively, but ultimately I think what it has to do with your lifestyle. There's going to be some people where one thing is going to work better than for other people, you see? I don't think definitively there's one thing that will work for everybody. And I think that's kind of one of the misconceptions about health in general, is that, this diet is the solution. No, there's no such thing as a general solution that works for everyone. Everyone's got a different metabolism, a different body type. Everyone's got a different lifestyle. And ultimately, if you have questions about this stuff, you should go talk to your doctor. Or you should go talk to a nutritionist or whatever. If you really are having problems with your health, your weight, your body, this isn't like, I can generally just follow some miracle diet and magically overnight I'm going to become healthy. That's not how life works, man. But sadly, that's what people look for. They look for these miracle solutions that don't exist. Okay? That's the best advice I could give when it comes to diet. Okay? All right, Golden Colts is cheered again. I love Celeste frozen pizzas for one, but I wish they made a bigger version of it. Okay? What are some times a food manufacturer missed a golden opportunity? So what you're saying was, what the time that if something could have been improved dramatically and they didn't do it? Oh my God. I don't know. If anyone has any ideas, on the fly I can't think of anything. Seriously. You put me on the spot to try to think of something. I don't know, man. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. Thank you for the cheers, Golden Colts. Those are overnight cheers, by the way. Those are not during the stream. Our first contribution that came in during today's stream is from Orcs or Dorks, who has resubscribed for a whopping 42 months. Thank you, Orcs or Dorks, for 42 months of support. That is absolutely outstanding. I appreciate that very much, and it's good to see you today, by the way. All right. Also, Alfred Aponte gifted a subscription to Elite Shadow Ninja. Congratulations, Elite Shadow Ninja, and thank you, Alfred Aponte, for the support. I appreciate that. Okay. The first cheer of the stream came in from someone whose name is Worthless and Stupid. Well, I don't know why you would make that your name and insult yourself. All right. Oops. What happened here? But it's a 500-bit cheer. I appreciate that. And the person says the following. Do you like eggs and do you like grapes? With these two foods, you can be very healthy, which helps your body. Yes, I do like eggs and I do like grapes. What I'm happy about is that over time, different attitudes change about food and people determine more things about it. For example, eggs at one point were considered a health food. Healthy protein, you should eat it. Then all of a sudden, people changed their attitudes and said, oh man, eggs are bad for you. High cholesterol. You don't want to eat a lot of eggs. But then, after time, more research happened, they actually determined that the kind of cholesterol that's in eggs is considered good cholesterol. It's actually not bad for you at all. It's very healthy. And you can eat a lot of it and not have to worry too much about, oh my God, I've completely power loaded my body with cholesterol or anything like that. I like eggs. I like scrambled eggs. I like eggs over easy, as a component in other things. So I'm happy about that because, it's weird how people have these weird things that the new news story today. Oh my God, eggs are terrible for you. Don't ever eat an egg. And then a week later, eggs are great. It's like a superfood. You got to eat that, man. It's going to be healthy for you. Like, what? You just said eggs are going to kill me. What are you talking about? So anyway, it's funny how things change, attitudes change, and opinions change over time about this kind of stuff. All right, so thank you, Worthless and Stupid. And by the way, grapes, yes, I do like grapes. I actually, when I was growing up, my parents would always get the green grapes. I don't know, are they called white grapes? The green, they're not the typical purple grapes, but they would always get those green ones. Those would be the ones that I would eat. I think because they were seedless, and that's what it is, because they're seedless grapes. That's the ones they would get. I used to eat them quite a lot when I was a kid. I haven't had a grape in a while now, but I do enjoy grapes. Delicious. Okay. Snow Carl has cheered. He says, I hope you don't mind me saying this. I think some of us from Europe feel a bit bad about never getting overtime when you do overtime almost every night stream. Can you start doing it during the day? No. First of all, I've already made the announcement recently. I can't really do overtime anymore. I explained the reason I was doing late night streams where I was going a little bit extra was very simple. It was because the launch of the PS5 had given us an unprecedented amount of games in a very short period of time. And I knew that if I wasn't trying to put in extended gameplay every day, there was no way I was going to get through the games that I did. Just think about how many games I beat in like a 2-month period from November to December that were all like launch titles or in that launch window for PS5. And then look how long, even with the overtime, look how long it took me to beat games like Yakuza 7, and I'm still not done with Assassin's Creed. All right? So, it was needed. It was necessary. Now, things are slowing down, which is good. Now we can focus more heavily on newer games and things. And on top of that, my wife's work schedule has changed. Now, her job closes earlier, and because of that, she's going to be coming home earlier. And this has begun, and let me tell you, this is very good. Here's why. Usually when my wife comes home, she comes home so late. It's like, damn, we got to rush to do anything before we go to sleep because we're getting tired. So like, oh man, you want a sandwich or something? We got to do that quick. Oh, we got to clean up the house or, do something with Jasper or whatever. We got to do it quick. We don't have time to do anything. And next thing you know, it's like, damn, it's time for bed. Now because she's getting home a little bit earlier, we actually get a little bit more time together, which is nice. Every day we're actually going to get like an extra hour of time together, which is very much needed. Okay? So it's very nice. But that means I can't go late on the late streams anymore. For a while there, my late streams typically would run from around gameplay starting around 7:15, and they would run to around 9:15. And then I would take about a half an hour to upload those videos, do the schedule for the rest of the week and everything. And then, that's a typical late night stream. But I was going an hour later. I was going to like 10:15 every night. So really I wasn't finishing work till almost 11, and then she would get home around 11. Well, now she's getting home a little earlier. So now I don't have time to do the overtime anymore. All right. So, Snow Carl, in regards to the extra time on late night streams, I hear what you're saying. You're right. I never go overtime on the early streams, right? Never. Now, why don't I go overtime on the early streams? It's very simple. Because my wife goes to work at a certain time every day, and the way it's timed is that we have just enough time when my stream ends for me to upload the videos, run downstairs basically, quickly eat dinner with her, and then she gets to work. That's kind of the schedule we have. We made it work. It's not the ideal thing. A lot of the times, she has to start eating before me, so we have a few minutes to sit and eat together and talk, and then she has to go, and I'm still eating when she's leaving and going to work. Okay? But at least we have a little bit of time together. All right? If anything, it would be better if I could actually end the stream earlier, so that way I could actually spend more time with her before she goes to work. But there's nothing you can do. It's life, right? You like they say, you do the best with what you got. So, that being said, folks, I can't go late. If I went late on my early stream, I wouldn't even get to see her. She'd be at work when I'm finishing the stream. That's why I can't go late on the early streams. Okay? And I hope you understand. You know, my wife is my love of my life, my best friend as well. She's the person I want to spend time with the most. And I hope you understand that. Okay? I spend more time on stream with you guys than I spend with my wife all day. Seriously. So, I hope you understand that. I want to spend a little bit of time with her. Okay? Okay. Ninstar Rune has cheered 51 bits and says, best meat for meatballs. Normally I make them with beef, but I ordered some pizza place and how it tasted like pork and it was incredibly good. Meatballs can be made from anything. Any kind of meat. I've had meatballs that are made of beef for most of my life because my mom would make beef meatballs. I've had meatballs that were pork based, and also I've had meatballs that were chicken based. And actually on the regular now, we get chicken meatballs that have mozzarella and a lot of seasoning and stuff in them, and they're quite good. They're incredibly flavorful. You'd be shocked to think that they were chicken because they taste nothing like chicken at all. Okay? Obviously the traditional ingredient is beef, and the key to making a good meatball is that you have to have fatty meat. If you don't use fatty meat for it, the meatball will be too dense and will tend to break apart and not be good as you cook it. And that's the last thing you want. Obviously, you want it to be a nice, dense meatball that doesn't fall apart when you're cooking it. So, usually when I would make... My ideal meatball would be an 80-20 mix beef, which means 80% pure beef, 20% fat, because that makes it basically sticky enough to stay together and not break apart when you're cooking it. So, there you go. But, like I said, I actually have had meatballs of many other kinds. Like pork. I regularly eat chicken meatballs. I really like them. You know, they're very good. Eternal Napalm did 100-bit cheers. Shout out to Thrawn and Jay Bowler. There you go. Thank you very much, Eternal Napalm, for the cheer. And yes, shout out to Thrawn and Jay Bowler, stream regulars. How you guys doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Ninstar Rune cheered again. He says, I hate how scientists keep flip-flopping about stuff like eggs, saying that they're good, but then they're bad, but then they're good again. It makes them seem untrustworthy. It's probably why people think the coronavirus is fake. Well, here's the thing, Ninstar Rune. Now we're getting to the nitty-gritty of it, all right? People tend to think, for some odd reason, that life is black and white. And this is a core mentality of human thinking, and I don't understand this. They think that there's always a definitive answer to one way or the other. This is correct, this is wrong. This is false, this is true. You know, that's not really how life works. All right? Life is constantly fluctuating. People have different mentalities, different opinions, different cultural things that happen. And so things could change a lot over time. I can tell you right now, in society, today, things are shunned that 10 years ago, when I started on YouTube, they were widely accepted. All right? No one had a problem with them. Today, everyone's freaking out, saying, oh my God, how would someone do this? And 10 years ago, people didn't really care so much about comedy and stuff like that. And, you know, people are way more offended today than they were 10 years ago. It's just a mentality shifts, right? Now, in regards to science, things are a little different. Because science, you can argue, well, it's scientific fact says this or says this, right? It's true. Science is a little different than, say, public opinion. And you would think that when a scientist comes out and says something like so definitive, like, eggs are good for you, that we could trust it wholeheartedly 100% and say, wow, that's great, eggs are good, now I know what to do with my life. But the thing is, science, much like everything else in life, is ever changing. People are constantly studying. People are constantly researching. and they're determining different things about stuff. Just because someone says something today doesn't mean it is absolute and will never change. Frequently things change over time. Science constantly develops. Just because, okay, thousands of years ago, in science, they would use leeches to bleed you because they thought scientifically that's what would actually cure sickness. Today we know it doesn't do anything, right? No one is bleeding anyone with leeches in 2021. It doesn't work. But people used to do it because that was medicine back then. People actually thought that would concretely help you with certain illnesses and stuff. So if you see my point here, things change over time. It's not always the same. And for someone to think that something is absolute in science is very, very ignorant, I would say, almost. It's ignorance to think that. And so please understand, that's how life works when it comes to science, just like everything else. Things can change over time. You shouldn't have this black and white mentality that just because something I was told something today doesn't mean that tomorrow it's going to be true. Things can change. Things can evolve. You have to have an open mind in life. All right? You have to have an open mind in life about stuff like this. And you have to be able to understand that, we know better. When we started with this whole coronavirus thing, we had very limited knowledge. The knowledge we were going off of was based off of such limited information that no one really knew shit. Let's be honest here. No one knew diddly dick about what was going on with this sickness a year ago. It took a long time. It took months and months of research, of people trying to figure this thing out, to understand how it was transmitted, to understand how contagious it is, to understand how deadly it is, who's affected most by it, who's most at risk by it. You see what I mean? You can't just say, oh, well, I don't trust a scientist because at the beginning of the coronavirus thing last year, we were told one thing and now we're told something differently. Yeah, that's life. That's called research. That's called development. Things change over time. Things evolve. You get better information and you're better able to handle situations. Why do you think that just because something was said a year ago that was like 100% irrefutable truth and nothing would ever change it? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to think that way, but that's how people are. Oh, I was betrayed because last year I was told this about coronavirus and now it's not true anymore. You weren't betrayed. People are trying to do the right thing. People are trying to do the best thing. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. People just freak out. People seriously freak out about this shit. Anyway, let's continue on. The Poopy Doopy has resubscribed to the channel for 6 months. Thank you to the Poopy Doopy for the big steamy dump that they just left on the stream. I appreciate that dump of support. Alrighty then. Poopy Doopy. What a name. Shout out to Wordless and Stupid, who has cheered again. And Wordless and Stupid says the following. Thank you for your egg opinion. It was highly enlightening. I wonder for nutritional purposes would consuming the egg be more beneficial than awaiting a chicken to arise from its shell and eating that. So what you're thinking is it more beneficial to eat the egg or is it more beneficial to eat the chicken? The answer I have for you is I don't know. I'm not a nutritionist. I can't answer these questions. I'm not some kind of a food guru. Go talk to a nutritionist. I don't know how this became the food stream. I don't know anything about this. Alrighty then. So thank you, Wordless and Stupid. I appreciate the cheer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us, lettuce, delicious lettuce. No, let us give shout outs to the top cheering contributors of the week, shall we? Thank you to everyone who cheered this week, and thank you in particular to these people who were the top cheerers. In 10th place, Golden Colts. We got a tie for 8th place between Ripley Atomic and Worthless and Stupid. In 7th place, it's Angelo Bestia. In 6th place, Savage Today. 5th place is Shirtless Mofo. 4th place, Westside Phil. 3rd place, Rob on Wheels. 2nd place, Cyber Shadow 248. And in 1st place, Lucifer Soul. Thank you guys so much for all your contributions this week. And also, thank you to the following people who have gifted subscriptions to the channel this week. I appreciate this as well. So, we have Alfred Aponte, Human Milk, Technical 2070, Stealth and Shadows, Shell Ryukin, Big D's, and 672, who each gifted a single subscription to the channel this week. We've also got Spawn Killer, who gifted 2 subscriptions to the channel this week. So thank you guys for that support. Now, a quick reminder. As I stated earlier on in the stream, right now I am pretty financially strapped because of some things that come up pretty much every January and is unavoidable. Basically, big quarterly tax bill, plus a bunch of other things behind the scenes. All right? If you want to support me the most today, I urge you, please, if you can, tip me. I need tips basically to help me out in the next 2 weeks. Okay? It would be really cool if we could hit the tips goal today. By the way, there's 2 tips reward goals today that we do. The first is, if we hit $50 in tips, I'll put on Gunner glasses. I know that sounds silly, but for some reason people demand it. And if we hit $100 in tips, which is the tips goal for today's stream, I'll put on a vest. Now, yesterday, I wore the platinum and the camo vests. So that means today the other vests would be eligible. The beige, the blue, the red, and the gray. Those would be the 2 vests that are eligible today. And I hope that you guys will consider tipping. If you do, thank you in advance. All right? And that's about it. All right? What we're going to do is we're going to take a brief break. During said break, I'm going to use the restroom, and I'm going to get set up here with Hitman. During this break, I hope you guys will use the opportunity to maybe get a drink or snack or whatever you want to do. And when I come back, it is time for Hitman. I'm excited for Hitman. I hope you are. We're going to finish up the 4th world, head on to the 5th stage, whatever it may be. I don't know what it's going to be. And go from there. All right, guys. Thank you very much for all of your support on the pre-stream so far. No tips yet, but the stream is obviously young. I'll be back in a few with Hitman. See you then.